Yeah, man, Supper Purples, let us make some lo-fi Game Boy breakbeats on the Polyend Tracker. Let's go. Let us start off, of course, first by loading up a breakbeat from the 4-bit Breakbeats sample pack. Available on the website. Good, we are happy with that. Now, let us have a look at which sample playback engine is appropriate for this type of breakbeat. In this case, we want to chop it up in even chops. It lines up perfectly at 165 BPM. But see what happens when we press add using the beat slice playback. We're just adding incrementally half smaller chops. We don't want that. Auto slice is another option, but that doesn't really give us all the chops that we want, you know what I'm saying? Today, our friend is going to be the shift button, where you can find equal slice. Equal slice will allow us to chop it up in, you guessed it, equal slices. Oh yeah, just what we need. Another little tip, use the step jump, set it to 2. If your sample is equally chopped up like this drum break right about around here, they will end up in the right spots. Of course, we got to put some speed on it. Around 170. That ought to do the trick. And now let's do a little bit more of a premedicated pattern rather than the random shit, even though that sounded dope too. I would like now to dub this pattern with some other samples, this time from the Game Man sound kit. Let's get some snares from there. And maybe another sound or two. Just locating the snares and dubbing it right there. Maybe we can find a tasty bass sound in here. Oh yeah. Let us also find some short lead sounds and maybe even some longer ones. We can also loop the shorter ones to make them long. Now I'm going to add some kicks here on a separate track, and in here we do the sidechain compression, you know what I'm saying? We have the sidechain compression set to track number 3. The kick will trigger the ducking. You don't want too much of that. Now I'm going to program this little ARP ostinato type melody into here. Notice here, since this pattern is so repetitive, I'm leaving the snares in there because you can't really notice when this sound drops out. There's a lot of space for it. Running out of ideas for melodies? Just drop an octave down. Gonna add a bass melody here, and we're actually gonna keep this pattern the same and just make a copy of it. Where the bass melody is different on the second pattern, and that will dictate the feel. Since we have this ARP ostinato thing going, we're kind of making different chords of it almost. Now in the song mode here, we can chain the two patterns together and listen to the whole thing in its wholesomeness. Got this other sort of swelling sound we're going to use as a secondary bass sound. Fill out some space there, and we're going to make it rise in volume with a command right here. So let us find volume, press rec, and set it to something low, and then it's going to incrementally rise until we reach that climax. Same thing on the second pattern, of course. You could copy notes or commands and change it quickly, but it's not that bad doing one at a time. Here, for some variation in another pattern, we're going to just switch out the instruments on some of these here. Triggered notes. Some emergency volume issues here on this instrument, so we're going to head into instrument parameters and lower the volume. A little personal organizationalizing preference is that when I have a pattern that is similar, hold down the pattern here, you see, if I want to make a variation of that pattern, I'll put it right below there. So I know it's the same pattern, but a variation of it. So now we're going to copy this one. Voilons, we have 2 copies. Another little variation thing. You can see I went in there, I changed some of the notes, and I also reversed some of them. After on the drum break itself, we're gonna have some fun with the R command. Get some rolls in there, and now experiment with another lead synthesizer sound from the Game Man sound kit. To make a funky lead, there's a couple of commands that will help you funk it up. For one, micro timing, so you could push it back every here and there so it's not straight on the rhythm, you know what I'm saying? And also making some glide effects like this. Badass. I think we have enough variation in there to make a somewhat interesting little piece.